ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Yeah. पंचीकृतेभ्यः भूतेभ्यः. Shloka number 27 of the abridged version. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Surendra ji.
Guruji, which shloka number?
27, abridged version. Panchikritebhyah bhutebhyah. A few shlokas before our current shloka. 2, 3, 4, 5 shlokas before Avyaktanamni. Abridged version. Unabridged version, it will be something around 90.
90. Okay. Huh. Okay. No, I'm not able to locate.
Okay. Yeah, whoever is next can.
Upna ji?
Not able to locate that sloka.
Yeah, that's fine, Surendra ji. Go ahead and mute yourself. पंचीकृतेभ्यो भूतेभ्यः
पञ्चीकृतेभ्यो भूतेभ्यः
स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणा
स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणा
समुत्पन्नमिदं स्थूलम्
समुत्पन्नम् इदं स्थूलम्
भोगायतनमात्मनः
भोगायतनम् आत्मनः
अवस्था जागरस्तस्य
अवस्था जागरस्तस्य
स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः
स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः
वागादिपञ्च श्रवणादिपञ्च
वागादिपञ्च श्रवणादिपञ्च
प्राणादिपञ्चाभ्रमुखानि पञ्च
प्राणादिपञ्चाभ्रमुखानि पञ्च
बुद्ध्याद्यविद्यापि च कामकर्मणि
बुद्ध्याद्यविद्यापि च कामकर्मणि
पुर्यष्टकं सूक्ष्मशरीरमाहुः
पुर्यष्टकं सूक्ष्मशरीरमाहुः
इदं शरीरं शृणु सूक्ष्मसंज्ञितम्
इदं शरीरं शृणु सूक्ष्मसंज्ञितम्
लिङ्गं त्वपञ्चीकृतभूतसम्भवम्
लिङ्गं त्वपञ्चीकृतभूतसम्भवम्
सवासनं कर्मफलानुभावकम्
सवासनं कर्मफलानुभावकम्
Swajnanato nadirupadhiratmanah.
स्वाज्ञानतो नादिरुपाधिरात्मनः
Swapno bhavatyasya vibhaktyavastha.
स्वप्नो भवत्यस्य विभक्त्यवस्थाः
Swamatra sheshena vibhati yatra.
स्वमात्रशेषेण विभाति यत्र
सर्वव्यापृतिकरणं सर्वव्यापृतिकरणं लिङ्गम्
करणं लिङ्गम्
इदं स्याच्चिदात्मनः पुंसः
इदं चिदात्मनः पुंसः
वास्यादिकमिव तक्ष्णः
वास्यादिकमिव तक्षणः
तेनैवात्मा भवत्यसङ्गोऽयम्
तेनैवात्मा भवत्यसङ्गोऽहम् यम्
अव्यक्तनाम्नी परमेशशक्तिः
अव्यक्तनाम्नी परमेशशक्तिः
अनाद्यविद्या त्रिगुणात्मिका परा
अनाद्यविद्या त्रिगुणात्मिका परा
कार्यानुमेया सुधियैव माया
कार्यानुमेया सुधियैव माया
यया जगत् सर्वमिदं प्रसूयते
यया जगत् सर्वमिदं प्रसूयते
Yeah, so this is the shloka that we have been studying. Starting from Panchikritebhyaha begins the Sri Guru Ruvacha, one shloka before, but this is where the content begins. So, Konama Bandaha Katamesha Agataha, the list of 7 questions was there by the student. Then here, the teacher, Guru, who is beginning with an explanation of what is Anatma. Everything that is not me is Anatma. And so, I understand that the world is Anatma. But since the confusion is there, when it comes to the body, it is very interesting. When the person passes away, when somebody passes away, we say that the person has moved on. Person has passed away, all right. But there is something moving on. Soul moves on, they say. Jiva moves on, they say. Atma moves on, they say. Okay, when the person dies, we say Atma moves on and the Shariram is here. We appreciate that there is something that survived death or survives death. Okay. And so that awareness should be there even when I am alive. That I am not the body. This body came and the body is going to go away. And so how can I be the body? When I look at other bodies and say that is the body, that the Atma is went away like that. Like that I say. So therefore, that idea, that introduction Guru is giving here in this particular shloka Panchikritebhyaha onwards, and he explained Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram. So that idea of Karana Shariram begins from this shloka number 31, Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti. So we began to appreciate that Karana Shariram, Sthula Shariram understood physical body, Sukshma Shariram also understood the subtle aspects of the body, like sense organs, which are all subtle. subtle things that have locations, gross locations in the body. Every subtle thing has to be located in some gross aspect. And so in the gross eyeballs, the subtle, subtle uh, that sight, sense of sight is there. That much we have appreciated. Then this particular avasthatrayam is being used here to appreciate the karana shariram. That alone is not enough. There is another entity. These things are hard to say in English. Another entity besides this Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram, which is called Karana Shariram, and that is appreciated by looking at waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. From deep sleep, if I am able to come out of it with all the what? All the ideas of myself intact. I am no different today morning than I was yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. That whole thing comes back because the idea was not there. During deep sleep, that idea is not there at all. Nobody has any idea of themselves. And if everything is able to come back, that coming back cannot happen from a non-existent entity. It has to be there in Avyakta form. We saw that last time. That is how we appreciated Avyakta. That state, we say deep sleep and then we ignore it. For Vedantis, these things become very important because we are all reality people. We are looking into the reality of the self. And we take the words of the Shastram which directs us to this pursuit. And what is the use of knowing the reality of myself, reality of the world and all if we say, hey, the use is what? Hey, this Parama Purushartha is there. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So it is connected with Moksha. It is not simply an intellectual pursuit. That is why we don't call Advaita Vedanta as a philosophy. We don't call means Puja Swamiji. He was the one who opened our eyes to all these things. It is not a philosophy. Why it's not a philosophy? You go ask any philosopher. Is what you're teaching connected to moksha? In the West, the answer is no. Answer is no. There is no connection between religion and in fact, but there is no moksha. And so only our dharma, religion is there, religion is important for us, and from that religion, it is a stepping stone for us to jump to this inquiry into Ishvara and myself. जीवा और ईश्वरा में क्या भेद है या भेद नहीं है, and through that process अज्ञानेन न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशम इह vidyate. So that knowledge is what gives what is called that moksha, and moksha is important. So we don't analyze for the sake of analysis. We analyze because of our purushartha, which is moksha. These are all some background that you all know. Many of you know. Some of you may not know all this. And so Avyaktanamni Paramesha Shakti. So that Shakti, this Maya, is a Shakti. The minute Shakti comes, then Maya it's a Shakti. The word Shakti is referring to Maya. And it has, as we said last time, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti, two types of Shaktis. One is the power of projection, the other is of the power of concealing that projection, concealing that I am really projecting something. That concealment power, the power of concealment is called Avarana Shakti. And then projection is Vikshepa Shakti. In dream, person is dreaming. The person is dreaming and there is a class, Vedanta class going on. Where? In the dream. Because it's possible. In our dreams, Vedanta class could go on. Because we've been doing this for some time, no? So our dreams, our past dreams will get replaced by Vedanta class dreams. And suddenly you say some sounds you hear and somebody is talking. You don't know who's talking, but somebody is talking. Dreams and all. It's something vague. When you wake up, you know something, but you don't know something. That's also Maya, by the way. You know something happened, but you don't know exactly who was the person who was teaching. Somebody will say, "Oh, Guruji, I saw you in the dream." Somebody will say, "Somebody was teaching, it sounded like your voice." So that's all maximum you can make out. So anyway, this class is going on in the dream. And the class is going on, and the Guru says, "Hey, this waking world that you are in is not, it's different from your dream, but it's not that different also. And you're all of us are that same consciousness. We're all born of that same Chaitanyam." Like that he says. Who says? Guru says in the dream. In my dream, my Guru tells me this. Some Guru tells me. And it is so difficult to accept it. How you can accept everything is one Brahman? You can't accept. And the Guru goes on and on about this. Jiveshwara Aikyam. Ishvara also is that same consciousness. You are there. It is as though you are in the dream of Ishvara. And so we are all that same consciousness. What I took to be real in my dream is really not that real, is what I conclude after waking up, which is what the Guru has been telling in that dream. And so difficult to accept that. And that is why this teaching is not public. Matlab, you can't go on out there and say these kinds of things. This world is like a dream, if you say. Then what happens? Obviously, it is not a dream, first of all. Everything is real. Everything is real. Transactions are real. The Guru was invited to talk and the Guru is talking. Its invitation is real. Time is real. Guru is also came at the right time. All but the attendees came at the right time. Everything is going on. They gave water to Guruji and Guruji drank some water also. The water is real. And simply go and say, this is not real. This world is not real. It damages people's trust in the Shastra. So that's why public talks, teachers have to be very careful. Krishna also advised us, right? Not advised Arjuna, but mentioned it in the Bhagavad Gita. Na buddhi bedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan. So very important shloka it is. It says, no, the wise person will not tell what he knows. What is this? Wise person will not tell what he knows. Means what? Means when the context is there, he has to develop the context, then only the Upadesha is given. So here we have the context, so we are doing it. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult because we have had the background, and so that Avarana and Vikshepa we saw, it's a projection. Exactly like in the dream, I have projected a whole world. And I didn't know that I projected it. Therefore, that is Avarana Shakti. The ability to project also is part of that Shakti. That is called Vikshepa Shakti. So we saw all that. Projection. Everything is a projection. That means samsara. What I call my life as a samsara is also a projection only. Projection. On what? Something must be there to project. A rope must be there to project a snake. A person must be there to project attributes on that person. Attributes a person does not have. Okay, I hate, therefore I can say I hate the person or I love the person because of the attributes I project. And so, therefore, that samsara also is real. And therefore, now I have to escape from this samsara. And therefore, that escape also is real only. Once the projection is taken as real, everything is going to be real. Real means absolutely real. That is why we have three types of realities. We always say that. So the projection of a snake on the rope is pratibhasikam. It is pratibhasikam means it is something that is done when I am awake. Okay, while I am awake, I am projecting a non-existent thing, but it exists also. That is called pratibhasikam, projection by the individual. Others see rope, but I see snake, so I am projecting it. Or everybody sees a mirage. Everybody sees a mirage, not on me alone. Everybody agrees there is a mirage. That's a pratibhasikam. It's a projection that nobody can help. Nobody can help. Nobody can say I will not see a mirage. Not possible. Not possible. If it is happening, it will happen. Or a rainbow. Rainbow. There is no object called rainbow. It is all some magic that is happening. And so if I project that there is some ring out there, then that's a projection. If I accept that this is just a scattering of the light and it will be during just after rain, then I can appreciate this is just a reflection that is coming. And the light being so many white light which has having so many colors, look at how science is helpful. Then I can appreciate that there is really no object called rainbow. If I appreciate it, then I'm not victimized by my projection. I can enjoy the projection. I can enjoy the rain, knowing the reality of the rain. So that is called pratibhasikam. Then vyavaharikam. Vyavaharikam means all reality, all engagements, everything. From morning to evening, we are engaging. From getting up and brushing the teeth onwards, everything is vyavaharikam. Then paramarthikam. Paramarthikam means that which is absolutely real, that cannot change, that remains as it is. So now I can appreciate Paramarthikam because I already know this Vyavaharika Satyam is Anityam, temporary, subject to time. That I know very well. That is why Adhikaritvam is needed. Adhikaritvam means what? Hey, I have grown out of this idea that things are permanent. Things are permanent, and at the same time, I'm not scared. I'm not scared that things are impermanent. I'm ready for the next step. Okay, if things are impermanent, then what is the purpose of my life? There has to be a purpose. The Drida, there has to be. Then if I start my life that way, and so samsara also is a projection. Escaping from samsara also is a projection, and that gives rise to all the different religions. Anyway, that's by the way. So then this Maya, and Bhagavan Ishvara, what is the connection? What is the connection? Or Maya and Brahman, what is the connection? Or Maya and Atma, what is the connection? If you ask, then we say that there is only one Satyam, only Brahma Satyam. Brahma Satyam. And what about Maya? Maya is the Shakti, but it is not independently existing. It is not another parallel reality, a reality that is parallel to Brahman reality or Atma reality. It is not parallel. It is also like pot. Like pot. pot has, I don't have a pot with me here, but you can now imagine the pot. You know? So, like our friendly pot, and I think he should be happy now that we are thinking of the pot. And so, like the pot, pot is an object, but then clay is there, right there, sustaining the pot, supplying the existence to the pot, supplying the existence to the pot. Like that, Atma supplies the existence to Maya. Therefore, Maya cannot be a separate reality. It is a dependent reality also, very important dependent reality. So Maya also, you will say, you can say it is mithya. But unlike every other mithya, we'll come back to that. Unlike every other mithya, it is anadi. That word is being used here. Anadya vidya trigunatmika para. It's coming next. Okay. So that idea is there. So here, Suyate Sacharacharam. Last time when we were talking, I brought in the idea of this Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. We spent some time talking about this. So Suyate created. Sudhatu, Sudhatu. That's why Prasuyate, Prasuyate. That's why Prasavaha in our Indian languages that pregnancy is called Prasavaha. Prasava, because about to create. And prasavam, sometimes they say prasava aidta, they will say. Means has the child been born yet? Prasavaha. So that same suyate is this word here. Prasuyate. So here in the shloka, yaya jagat sarvamidam prasuyate. That because of the Maya, the jagat is born. Prasuyate. That Maya, which is sustained by Atma or Brahma, and then new name will be given. Brahma plus Maya is equal to Ishvaraha. When we say Bhagavan and Devata, etc., when we start saying, then we are talking about Atma plus the Shakti, Maya Shakti. And that, so we will say things like either Ishvara created with the help of Maya, sometimes the language is just a language, or Ishvara created, or Maya created. All these are identical statements. But here, Yaya, Shankaracharya puts it in passive voice. Yaya Jagat Sarvamidam Prasuyate. Yaya Mayaya, by which Maya this world is created. He doesn't say Maya created the world. It's not active voice. It's in passive voice. So, by which Maya, Yaya Mayaya, the world is born. Prasuyate is born. And because Maya is not separate from Brahma, the world also cannot be separate from Brahma. Okay, the world, the pot cannot be separate from clay. Like that, the world also cannot be separate from Brahma. So that is understood from this part. But then here, Anadi Avidya, Paramesha Shakti Ava Anadi Avidya. We're going to take it one step at a time. Synonyms are being given. Maya is there in the third quarter, and then in the second quarter of the mantra, Avidya is mentioned. So it is the ignorance that makes me projectiles. Even in our own lives, we appreciate this. When I don't know something, then I will be forced to project unless I make a conscious effort to say, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes when some new thing device is there, and they show you a device, new device, and then if they had shown me this device some 10 years ago, I wouldn't know what it is. I would know what it is. Now I can guess. I can guess, is this a, what do you call that? Bluetooth. This is a Bluetooth. Bluetooth. So there was a time when people used to say Bluetooth and all. I didn't know what Bluetooth was. Why? Because it's new. It's new. And if it is new at that time, you know that you don't know. And therefore, you're not going, if you know that you don't know, the good thing is you will not project. You will not, there is no pressure to assume that object to be something else. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. But when the situation is ripe, projection happens without our permission. Without our permission, it happens. Exactly like that rope that is there. Or on the when you're walking, there is a crack on the earth. The earth, there is a cleavage like this, and it is exactly in the shape like this, and you stop right there. You stop. Why? When you're not stopping, you can simply cross over this small crack. It is. That's all it is. But it's like the right situation for me to project a snake. Correct? A ripe situation. And so that ignorance is what makes me project the snake. And therefore, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti is operating there, operating full steam. And therefore, the word avidya is used. Avidya is used to refer to the individual, to the Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti manifesting in the individual, and that cause of that is avidya. And so the word avidya is used exactly like the word maya is used for the creation of the universe. Okay, and so that is what we learn here when the word avidya is introduced here. And the Shakti is manifest through the mind, obviously. The mind is involved in this. If the mind is not there, there is no expression of Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. And since we are talking about the avidya ignorance of what is, ignorance of objects, ignorance of things, ignorance of the real nature of things, ignorance of the real nature of myself. That ignorance has to be removed, has to be eliminated. Okay, and so that is the idea here. And what Swamiji says at this time is that he will say that the teaching is what removes the ignorance. The teaching is what removes the avarana shakti. Removes the avarana shakti means what? You can't remove avarana shakti. It is sublated. It is disappearing from manifesting in my mind. Okay, Shravanam. So avarana nivritti, like that. That is the definition. That is the phalam of Shravanam. Shravanam means listening to the Shastram. And the phalam is what? Avarana nivritti. That I am projecting things on the on everything on people. That projection will go away with this Shravanam. I can appreciate the Paramarthika Satyam even when I am doing Vyavahara, when I am engaging. Our life is all about engaging with things. Transaction, transaction, transaction. I continue to transact, but then I appreciate that Paramarthika Satyam. And so, Swamiji says that is why when you know something, they say you discover. Discover. Discover, because there is a cover. There is a cover of Ajnanam, as it were. And so you discover. Discover means what? You have to dispel the cover or something like that. You remove the cover and therefore you discover. There must be some word in English. How do you explain this in discover, So you remove the cover. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. That's beautiful. Oh, what a nice shloka it is. So check this Ajnana Timirandasya. So it seems the Guru does this. The Guru, what he's doing is a surgeon. Guru is a surgeon. Guru is a surgeon. Okay. The Guru does not have a medical degree, but still he's a surgeon. She is a surgeon. Why? Because he has a needle in the hand, it seems, and he's about to perform a cataract operation. Cataract operation. And what is the cataract operation? There is a thin film that is covering the eyes. Thin film that is preventing proper vision. Okay. And the doctor knows, the Guru knows that that film has to be removed. That film of ignorance. Ajnana timirandhasya. Timira. Ajnana timira is there. Timira anda. So not completely blind. Timira anda. So partially. Blindness is as though blind. It can be correctable. What do you call it? Correctable blindness. Let's call it. And so, Ajnana Timirandasya. Then what does the Guru do? Jnananjana Shalakaya. Shalaka is a needle. The needle. So, Jnananjana Shalaka. A needle that is dipped in the oil of knowledge. And then, Chakshurunmilitam Yena. Okay. The Guru opens the Unmilanam means opening of the eyes, as it were. Like that. It is said there. And so we saw that. We saw that this Maya is not an independent reality, very important for us. And when it comes to this Satyam and Mithya, there is a very beautiful shloka. There is a Pasuram in Tamil also. In Tamil. It is like the parents have purchased a toy for the child to play. An elephant toy. And the elephant is made of sandalwood. Very, very important wood. A very expensive wood it is. And they have purchased it for the child. Child is playing. Child is playing. Marattai maraitadu mamada yanai. Marattai is a very beautiful pun in Tamil. Maram means wood. Marattai maraitadu. Maraitadu means covered. That wood was covered by what? By the elephant. The elephant covered the wood. How about that? Marattai maraitadu mamada yanai. Then what happened? Then the parents are there. Parents are not that ignorant when it comes to this wood and all. They specifically chose sandalwood. In fact, they know they can afford all this stuff. And they purchased the sandalwood elephant. For them, elephant does not cover the sandalwood. They saw the sandalwood even before they saw the elephant. Okay. So, maratil maraindadu mamada yanai. Then what happened? It seems in that wood, the elephant disappeared. Look at the way Tirumula says in this Tirumandira. Maratil maraindadu mamada yanai. The elephant disappeared in the wood. Then what? So, Parattai maraitadu parmudal bhutam. So that Paravastu is there. Brahman is there. Brahman is covered by what? By all these Panchabhutas, all these things. Parattai maraitadu parmudal bhudam. Bhudam means Panchabhutani. Means all things that are there. It is covering the Brahman as it were. Parattai maraitadu parmudal bhudam. Paratil maraindadu parmudal bhudam. Same thing. Once you know what is what, then in that paravastu, paratil, that word is used, in that paravastu means in that Brahma Vastu, the entire Panchabhutas disappeared. Okay, these are all there. Once we study Vedanta, what will happen? You look up any Shastra in any language, it doesn't matter Bengali, Gujarati, whatever. If you read the translation, you can immediately figure it out. My God, this is what the author is saying. Okay, and so that projection, Maya, ya sa Maya. That there is a particular dhatu in Sanskrit for Sanskrit students. Ma comes from the dhatu. I mean, Maya comes from the dhatu ma. Ma means to measure. Ma is there in so many ganas. Three ganas, Ma is there. Popularly, it is used in the sense of measuring pramanam, etc. It is used. But here, it means to display, to present, to project, to exhibit. That is the meaning of Ma here. So, Maya, Niyate, Aparokshavat, Anaya. Very interesting how they mention all these things. Our Shastram is so good. Aparokshavat Niyate. It is presenting as though it is the self. It is presenting as though it is the self. You're not the body, but the body is being presented to me as though it is the self. That is called Maya. Look at that, how the way they define all these things. I looked up this kosha and I said, how do they say it? This is how they define it. Aparokshavat, they say. As though it is a real thing. Presenting itself as the real thing. Something that is masquerading as the real thing is Maya. That's how it is. Okay. So, Anadi, Avidya. So, Anadi is important also. That is a difference. I said that is a difference between this Mithya, which is Maya, and Nitya, which is the pot. What is the difference? Both are Mithya. Both are dependent realities. Is there a difference if you say, yeah, that Anadi is the difference between this Maya Mithya and everything else created Mithya? Maya is uncreated. Uncreated Mithya. Okay, uncreated. Maya comes along, it is there with the creation and it continues to be there. Never born. Never born. Ajam. So in our Shastra, the idea of creation comes quickly as we in our analysis comes, and then our idea of creation is what? It comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes in many cycles. Manifestation, unmanifest, or demanifestation. I don't know how to say that. Manifestation, it manifests and then unmanifests. And so it is continuous. Maximum, you can ask the question, when did the current cycle of creation start? Maximum, you can ask that question. For this, we have answers. So many trillions of years and all. Brahmaji's lifetime is there. 100 Brahma years. As a fixed time. And then there is some transition period between one cycle and another cycle and all that. They come up with a calculation. We did this several times. We've done this calculation. And so that is one cycle. And then manifest. The tree becomes a seed. And then another so many years, trillions of years, it is just a seed form. Pralaya. Okay. And so it's continuous. Continuous. And so there Anadi is an important word that my always says. And so that's what he's saying here. Anadi, avidya. So Maya, how do you understand Maya therefore?
Guruji, can you
It is,
please repeat the last few sentences? It broke up for me. Can you
oh,
please
okay.
repeat the last few sentences?
Yeah. So I was talking about this anadi aspect. Adi means beginning. Anadi means that which does not begin. We talked about what? Long ago we said there are six things that do not begin. The six things that are anadi. Good time to recall it now, I think. What did we say? I don't know if I'll remember the shloka or not. Jiveshayor Jiva Isho Vishuddhachit Jiva Isho Vishuddhachit Tatha Jiveshayor Bidha. Avidya Tachitor Yogaha Shadasmakamanadayaha. Okay, I got it. Okay. So there are Anadi, when you say there are, the shloka says there are six things that are Anadi that have no beginning at all. What are the six things? Jiva Isho Vishuddha Chit Jivaha. Jivaha is also Anadi. Jivaha means this individual, this living being, that being, Jiva, which is for whom the body is meant for. The jiva, which cannot express itself unless there is a body, Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram. And so that jiva Ishaha, jiva Isho Vishuddhachit, Ishaha, Ishvaraha. Ishvara also must be Anadi only. All right, if jiva itself is Anadi, why Ishvara should not be Anadi? So jiva Isho Vishuddhachit, Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam. Very important. That awareness, that I should be aware of so many things. Everything that is in front of me, I'm aware of it. Even if I'm blind, I'm still aware. I'm aware that I'm blind. I can't see anything. Awareness. Okay. Doesn't mean awareness is not eyesight. I'm just saying awareness. That I'm conscious. And that consciousness is shining. It is there, whether I close my eyes or open my eyes, it is shining. And that is called Chaitanyam. Jiva Isho Vishuddhachit. Vishuddhachit means pure consciousness, is also Anadi, unborn. Tatha Jiveshayor Bhida. And then this apparent difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Jiva and Ishvara are different, fundamentally different. That Bheda also is Anadi. The author says that. And then avidya tachitor yogaha. Avidya is ignorance. That ignorance, jiva comes along. It's a package deal. Jiva comes along with the ignorance. And so that avidya also as anadi as jiva or ishvara. And then tachitor yogaha. But that avidya, and then it is intricately mixed up with chaitanyam. It has some kind of a staying power. Student is asking the question, ko nama bandhaha katamesha agataha katam pratisthasya asya. How did this bondage just stick to me like this? Like that he is asking that. But here, avidya tachitor yoga. Avidya is anadi. Then tat means there avidya. So tachitor yoga. Hey, how did this avidya and consciousness stick to each other? They should be separate out. The consciousness should say, get out of here. I don't want you. You're absolutely useless for anybody. No, consciousness cannot say that. Okay, consciousness will sustain anything and everything. And therefore, avidya tachitor yogaha shadasmakam anadayaha. These are our six anadis. Like that, the author concludes here. And so, here, this avidya maya, in this shloka you have to look for avidya as the reference to maya. So Anirudhji, that's what I was saying. The anadi is what we were talking about. And then Trigunatmika para. Trigunatmika. So, all of you who have studied Bhagavad Gita, it's very, you know this very well. But those who are new, then this Trigunatmika has been introduced for the first time. So, Sattvam, Rajas, and Tamas. These are the three gunas. Maya, it is not the attributes of Maya. It is not the quality of Maya. It is a component of Maya. Maya means it's a package of these three attributes. I mean, three things. Swamiji says three-stranded Maya. Maya has three strands, like that he says. Three faculties, three components. Okay. And so that is Sattvam, Rajas, and Tamas. So it's very interesting the way our Shastra talks about these things. It is using our own experience to explain that our own life, our own goals, and the Satyam also, truth, Nitya. So Trigunatmika, so Sattvam means the capacity for an individual to know, to inquire, to think, to process. All that is due to the component called Satyam. Sattvam, excuse me, not Satyam, Sattvam, Sattva Guna, Sattva Guna. Then Rajo Guna, ability for us to push ourselves to do something. You have something in your head, now you have to execute it. And that execution part, that is Rajo Guna. It is a Rajo Guna that makes us get up in the morning and then come to class, turn on the computer, everything, Rajo Guna. Then once the Rajoguna is there, now we tell ourselves, wait a minute, now don't stop the mind, just go to stop going all over the place. Don't think about breakfast for now. Breakfast will come, but right, half an hour, 1 hour, and in some cases like Ashiseva Kedram, 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes also. So our Sanskrit classes are 1 hour 30 minutes. I don't know how we manage that. Somehow I managed it, and our teachers are still doing this. And so anyway, for that time we say, hey, Sattva Guna, let it be predominant. Because in a Sanskrit class, Vedanta class, it is all about inquiry. It's all about inquiry. Therefore, Sattva Guna, we want Sattva Guna to be active in a class. Otherwise, what will happen if I didn't sleep properly and if the class is like the way Jayakumarji teaches, then slowly Tamo Guna will set. Sattva Guna says goes in the background and Tamo Guna comes. Tamo Guna comes and then Tamo Guna is just putting me to sleep. Putting me. And that is a Shakti, by the way. Putting me to sleep is such an important Shakti. Remember that. Shakti it is. See, our Shastram is very precise when it comes to these things. I mean, science also is precise. I'm not saying science is not precise. But we are talking about subtler than the subtle. Sukshmat Sukshmataram Nityam. We saw that in the Kaivalya Upanishad just last class. And so, uh, that Tamoguna is what kicks in. And at the end of the day also, it has to kick in. It has to kick in. If not, you're going to have sleeping problems. Problems going to sleep. A lot of people have that problem. And so we have to worship that Tamoguna also. It is a part of our life. We need it. And we can recall some of what we learned in Tattva Bodha. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, all three were talked about. What was the context? Sattva Guna was talked about when the Indriyani, Sattvam. So from the Sattva Guna aspect of the Akashasya Satvikamshat Shrotrendriyam Sambhutam. Hey, this hearing, the sense of hearing is born of the Sattva Guna of the one of the five Panchabhutas, which is Akasha. So that is why the hearing and Akasha are connected. sound. Sound travels through space and then hits the ear, and the ear picks up. Like this, we saw the five sense organs. Then we saw the mind. Mind also is what? Mind is what? Ye tesham pancha tattvanam samashti satvikamshat manobuddhyahankara chittani sambhutani. Like that we saw. Means what? The sattva aspect of akasha, sattva aspect of vayuhu, sattva aspect of agnihi, sattva aspect of water, apaha, sattva aspect of prithvi. These pancha tattvas and sattva aspect of that, when they combine together, then it creates, it is what creates what is called the manobuddhi ahankara chittani. Means what? Manaha, mind, intellect, buddhi. Okay, manobuddhi ahankara. The author has chosen to do it like this. Ahankara. Ahankara means this I, the one who knows that I exist, the one who has the personality, the one who says I have problems, one who says I am successful. That guy, that is called ahankara talking. Okay, ahankara is talking. So mano buddhi ahankara chittani. Chittam means memory. So finally, it's all attributes of the mind only, so-called general mind it is. General mind has a specific mind, which is the Chintana Kartri, Sankalpa, Vikalpa, become Manaha, etc. We saw all that in Tattva. So anyway, that Sattvika Amsha, mind. So that Sattva and the mind are very much related, connected. Because mind is a product of the Sattva Guna aspect of the Panchabhutas. Like that we saw there. Okay. And so Trigunatmika Maya. So there are three gunas are there. That's so all this drive, ambition, perseverance, some of the things that make us do stuff. That is all attributed to Rajoguna. Tamoguna, inertia, laziness, tiredness, fatigue, all that is attributed to Tamoguna. You know all these things. Trigunatmika. Trigunatmika means what? The word Atma is there in this Trigunatmika, in that big word Trigunatmika. It's one word. Atma here means Swarupam. Gunatrayam. Trayaha gunaha Swarupam yasyaha mayayaha. Trigunatmika. Triguna Swarupika. Like that also you can say. Triguna Swarupika means that whose Swarupam is the three gunas. That is Maya. Like that here, Shankaracharya is saying Trigunatmika. All right, that is a little more explanation of Maya. And then she is also Para. Para is a word that is used. This Para word has many meanings in different contexts. Some meanings are related. And so here, Para means she is superior. Quote unquote, superior. Means what? Superior. In this case, superior means Karanam and Karyam. There is cause, there is effect. Okay. She is the cause. Maya is the cause. Okay. Maya is the cause of the Jagat. Yaya Sarvamidam Jagat Prasuyate. And so she is not an effect at all. She is not an effect. She is the cause. Because she is the cause, she is superior. Superior. She is to be worshipped. She is not the effect. She is the cause for the entire world. And so that is the meaning of para here. Karanam. Swami gives the example of children and parents. Children are the effect, parents are the cause. And so there is always a respect given to parents. Like that he says. And so parents are para in that context. Para, superior. They know more. They are the ones who created the baby. What is the question? Where is the question of the baby or the child knowing anything more than the parent? And knowing also, forget about knowing also. Just you're a child, you're a product of them. Therefore, they are para. That's it. That's about it. And so, so that is para. And so therefore, this Jagat has to be apara. Apara means not an effect. Karyam. Maya is karanam. Jagat is karyam. And so here he says karyanumeya sudhiyaiva maya. So the question comes, this maya, how am I going to know this maya? Because we people are all want to know. Jignasus, we are all called jignasus. And so we are bhaktas and we are jignasus also. Why? Because cha, uh, chaturvidha bhajante mam janas sukritinorjuna artho jignasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarishabha. We saw that. Krishna had mentioned. Hey, 4 types of bhaktas are there. One type of bhakta is a devotee in distress. And so whenever there is a problem, that fellow thinks of God and he appeals to God. Other type of devotee is even more practical. During good times and bad times, both he is after God only. He says, I need God for everything. Things are working out well, that is because of you. Parameshwara, Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, Devi, that's called a Artharthi Bhaktaha. First one is Artha Bhaktaha, second one is Artharthi Bhaktaha. We get these words from Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna. I don't know the sloka number, but he said that in one of the slokas, maybe 4th chapter or something. Okay, Artho, okay, so that is 7th, I think. 7th chapter, all right. So, Arthaha, Artharthi, then Jignasu. Artho Jignasu Arthati. Jignasu. Jignasu is a bhakta. So Jignasu means desire to know. Desire to know. I now know about Ishvara already through Puranas and stories and my tradition. I know Ishvara. But now I am a Jignasu. That knowledge, that Vriddha Vyavahara, knowledge born of Vriddha Vyavahara, means knowledge born of just living in a family, living in a country where so many things are there. I already know so much. And now I have become a Jignasu. I want to know the reality of everything. That is a Jignasu. And a Jnani. Jignasu will become a Jnani, and our Krishna said Jnani also is a Bhaktaha. Jnani Bhaktaha. Like that he says. And so Karyanumeya Sudhiyaiva Maya. That he says. So how do I know this Maya? I can only infer Maya. I can only infer Maya. Why? Maya is subtle. Maya is subtle. And I can't use my buddhi and sense organs to figure out Maya, really speaking. Really speaking, it can be inferred from the effect. Maya is the cause of the world. Okay. Therefore, when for example, when the clay is the cause of the pot, then the pot will have attributes of the clay. So when I look at the pot, I can infer the clay. Even though in this example both are visible, still I can infer the attributes of the clay. Whatever property is there in the pot must be there in the clay. That is the meaning of Karyanumeya, Anumeya, Anumanam, inference. Inferred from the Karyam, inferred from the product, inferred from the effect. Karya here means effect, product, not work and all that. Action, work and all you should not bring here. Karyam means product. Karyanumaya, Karyena Anumeya Maya. Because Maya is Abhyaktam. Abhyaktam means unmanifest. And there is no chance I can use my mind and sense organs. Why? Because the mind, sense organs are meant to meant to grasp, separate the world out, chop off the world, and then grasp. Chop into 5 different entities. What do you mean 5 different entities? Yeah, Rupam. So forms and colors. Aha. I take out, just show me the forms and colors of all the things in this room. That I says, EYE, I says. And then eyes, okay, eyes are doing their job. Then take out some other parts. All the sounds that are coming, I will take care of the sounds. Like this, differentiate. Vibhajanam. All the sense organs operate, I mean, as though they chop this world into all these attributes. And then the signals are brought in. This is how sense organs operates. And then the mind collects all the data and then puts all the things together, pieces together. The eye doesn't know that that is a wall, that is a tube light. No, eye doesn't know all these things. Mind decides all those things based on signals received and based on past memory and things like that. Eye decides. And so if this is the way this mind operates, then that mind is not going to be able to perceive Maya. Why? Maya is avyaktam, not even manifest. Therefore, Karyanumeya is the only other possibility. You can infer about Maya based on the creations of Maya, based on the products of Maya. And of course, I can appreciate it thanks to this avasthatrayam, waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Thanks to this, I can appreciate Maya as something like deep sleep, something like that, where I don't see anything, where nothing exists. But I know it can't be nothing, because from nothing, nothing can come. I don't want to sing that song again. From nothing, nothing can come. And so, therefore, I infer that that deep sleep state is a very important state, and where everything is unmanifest, everything is avyaktam. And that avyakta state is how I appreciate Maya. Yeah, just like we use inference. Any example you can give. Inference. You use inference. I must have contracted the when I went to this party yesterday, where there were 500 people, and I spoke to so many people. I shook hands with so many people. Like that, somebody said, infer, because you can't see. You didn't know. And so later on, you start sneezing and get a fever and all that. Then you say, this is what must have happened. Like that, the inference. Or we use this inference all the time. And so, Karyanumeya. Science also uses inference all the time. The entire science of diagnostics is inference. They take your blood and then start measuring things. And then based on those measurements, even there's some inference is used in the measurement itself. When they report a number, some inference is used. Then using those numbers, the doctor is going to infer more and more things from all this creatinine and the lipid profile and all these things. Okay. And so, but we know this, we know that everything is conserved. This is the beauty of this whole thing. Amazing how our Shastram is. They say the world, God created the world out in 6 days out of nothing. Seventh day, sun was created. And so out of nothing. These kinds of statements we can't accept. Vedanta can't accept. Out of nothing, nothing will come. And so, the Shunyavadis and all, we can't accept all that. It is just not possible. Shunyavadi means what? Shunyam means void, null, nothingness. My true nature is Shunyam. That's what they say. Shunyam means the void, nothingness, void, emptiness. That is my nature, they say. So we can't accept all that. And science is a lot better. Big Bang, state of no information. A state, but no, we don't know anything. No information. Look at that. Karyanumeya. They are doing. They must be there. There has to be something from which the creation has come about. We don't know anything about that state. We are unable to know anything about that state. Okay. So everything existed in potential form. So Karyanumeya Sudhiyaiva Maya. Sudhi. Dhi means buddhi. Buddhi, intellect. Who can know this Maya? Sudhiya eva. Sudhiya eva. Jnata Maya. Sudhiya eva Karyanumeya Maya Jnata. Means what? By a person who has a buddhi, and there is a prefix su, sushtu. Means a buddhi that is not gross, that appreciates subtle things. It's like constantly we push our children to do things, go beyond all the subjects, study music, go jump around, do some sports, sing, dance, and we do that. Why? Because those are all the subtle aspects. So there is a lot more to life than just writing an exam and getting a grade and getting a degree and then working. That is important, but then you got to pay attention to all these things. Why? Because that subtle aspects have to be developed, and we need to become sudhis, subuddhis. We have to become, and so it's a fine line that we tread constantly. So here it says sudhiya. By that sudhi alone, this Maya can be known, like that. Shankara is saying. So immediately it brings in all that adhikaritvam that Shankara has already talked about. Viveka, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi, Shatka Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam Cheti. So that mind, what is the purpose of life? Somebody wanted me to talk. Somebody said you should talk in this marriage, this thing. Some party was there, and two people were getting married. And I invite Jaykumarji and all. They said, and then please talk for 5 minutes. And I told them, I stood in front of the basket. I don't know how to talk for 5 minutes. This is how I said. They started laughing. And so I don't know how to talk. If you ask me to talk for 50 minutes, I can do that. But 5 minutes, I don't know. I told them, for me to warm up, it will take 10 minutes. Okay, warm up, just warming up. Like the engine has to warm up, and itself will take 10 minutes. And this lady made a mistake by asking me to come here and talk for 5 minutes. If she is in trouble now. This is how I started. And so somehow I had a discussion about marriage, and I told them, why are you here? Why are you here today? All of you, why are you here today? Okay, to attend his marriage. Why are you here today? Oh, I'm here to attend my marriage only. So that is why you are here. Okay. So you knew exactly why you are here. Like this, I had a discussion. Then I suddenly posed a question. Why are you getting married?
Video has frozen, Guruji.
Yeah,
Not able to hear it.
Yeah, everything is frozen.
I think he's out.
He lost connection.
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish it now. So I was audible, still audible, no?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah,
Yes.
audible.
Yes.
All right. So I was. So the purpose of marriage and all, he was saying, it is meant to accomplish more than what we individually accomplish. Like that, he said. Then everybody gave a big hand. Then we went to this discussion, and then I said, okay, the purpose of purpose of marriage is to first find the purpose of marriage. Okay, find the purpose of marriage. Because accomplished individually means then what do you want to accomplish? You still don't know. Maximum, you know what career and family, this is all you know. I asked this question: is the purpose of marriage to have children? The boy and girl said very clearly, no, it is not to have children alone. They said that. So I said, yeah, you should have children, no doubt. But that is not the primary purpose of marriage. Like that, they acknowledged. And so finally we concluded the purpose of marriage is to find out the purpose of marriage. I left the discussion at that. And then somebody said moksha, I'm from the audience. Then I said, okay, moksha and all very technical words and all they're introducing. All right, to find out the purpose of marriage, to understand moksha and then achieve moksha also is the purpose of marriage. Like that, I left it. So, anyway, we'll continue this discussion. We've done Anadi, Avidya, Trigunatmika Para, Karyanumeya, Sudhiyaiva Maya. This is what we were talking right now. Sudhiya. From a person who has that Viveka. For that person, this is going to be easy. Sudhiya eva Maya. Then we'll complete the rest. Yaya Jagat Sarvamidam Prasuyate. And then we'll translate this shloka. I'm supposed to give you a translation of another shloka, but I'll come back in the next class. I will give you that translation. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.